with the overwhelming amount of options that people have,
It's insane.
it's like it makes you super indecisive in like what you want.
It's
You know?
insane,
Too
and
many
that could be a very good point.
That's very true.
Because if you have as a woman, right, you have all these options.
Very
Let's say you were
overwhelming.
single, and this guy's cute, this guy's cute, has money. Like, how hard would that be for
To
you to choose?
distinguish
Yeah, because back then, without social media, if you lived in a small town, you're only confined to
Yeah.
the
People
man,
in your
that
region,
live
yeah.
within the
Or
town.
you
the
have
region.
someone in your family say, I have meet this nice girl. meet this
Yeah.
nice chick.
But now you live here and you. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Talking Mic. Chee. And today, I have in the house two guests, and I'll let them introduce themselves. We're talking about the topic what?
Modern dating.
Yeah,
And
women don't want to see men happy.
he said it, not me.
So, stay tuned and stick with us. But before we start, I will let them introduce themselves.
Yeah, my name is Goki. From New York, Nigerian. Always repping.
All right.
Gotta hold it down for the fellas.
Okay.
I'm Kat, born in Seattle, like nomad.
Hey.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
about it.
Yep, they're both
Really exciting.
returning guests, and I'm excited to have them in the house. We were talking
for
about,
having us.
we had quite a number of topics that we wanted to talk about, but apparently women don't want to see men happy, and why is that? I seen this trend going on TikTok about passport men, just men saying that women in the U.S. are not traditional enough or whatever it is, so now they're leaving the U.S. to go to places like Thailand and
Dominican
Colombia,
Republic, yeah,
to
Colombia,
find
Puerto Rico.
wives or whatever. So we wanted to
It
dissect
could just be
that.
happiness. It doesn't have to be a wife. It could just be happiness and
Yeah,
peace.
yeah. So we wanted to dive in and see what everybody thinks about that topic. What's going on in the U.S. that people have to leave where they at to go somewhere else for some joy or something.
We do it all the time with vacations.
Oh yeah.
We go on vacation. We do a food
You
tour.
find your nice
find
little
good
something.
art.
Okay.
Good art. Good food.
Good art.
Good experience. We do it
Good
all the
vibes.
time. Good
Some
vibes.
people
right?
vibe with the culture.
Yeah, and it's just when men want to do something for ourselves to bring us peace and happiness, it becomes a topic of conversation. But I'll let you guys dive in. I'm trying to
What do you
not get
think, Kat?
canceled.
Why
This time.
men?
you won't be canceled.
Are
And
we
guys, don't
talking
cancel
men?
us. Just by the way, don't cancel us. We're just interested about a topic, and we want to
Yeah.
just have
Yeah.
a respectful adult conversation about it. So please, if you ever thought about canceling, take it out of your mind. We don't want that. All right, let's go ahead.
Okay, so we're talking about men specifically, or just anybody?
I think we're talking about
overseas?
men
Okay.
Yeah,
specifically
just men.
because, and we gotta also
Yeah.
talk about why they feel the need to go
Yeah,
outside
like what
of
is
the US
happening in the
boundaries.
U.S.
Let's
that's
talk
so
about that
bad.
first. Let's talk about the modern dating
Okay.
and, and
Yeah.
relationships in the U.S. first, and then let's go to passport gang. Let's do that.
Yeah,
first.
let's
talk
do that,
about
yeah.
the domestic issues. As a guy, I can say this: a lot of times in modern dating, like there's such a social media influence of like sometimes she wants to just post something not for you or the relationship, but just to quote unquote compete with other women or just show other women
Right.
that she got it like this, And sometimes
Ooh.
men, we're very simple. Like we just want her for her, but there's
Yeah.
a like perception that he's this, he's with this chick. That we're really simple and easy men. We're very simple. So y'all tell me, am I off?
What do you got to say, Kat?
About modern dating, I
Yeah.
feel okay. It seems like really a lot more complicated these days,
Very,
just because one, you have like all these different dating apps. I think that like people are so overloaded with options.
That's
You
true.
know what I
part,
mean?
yep.
It's like you have too many options, and sometimes it makes you like really indecisive.
But real quick, those options, do they all really want you, or they just want to smash?
That's a good question. Yeah. What I
But
think
what
is like
does what does that
right.
person want to do with the options too matters too.
Yep.
Well, and I'll say this, okay, because this will probably segue into that topic, because like I said earlier about like more, I feel like in today's relationships, like people kind of push aside more like traditional values.
I agree.
Not that like, hey, I mean, you do you, like, whatever makes you happy, but I do think that sometimes like people look at like the more like courting aspect of like the relationship and like the traditional stuff as like something that's always negative. And
I wonder.
obviously in like Western culture, because now like gender roles are different.
Absolutely.
But
know what I
why
mean?
why do we view it negative if back then it really worked and most people were married for a longer time?
Did it really
and
work?
they seem well.
Some people saw their
Well, maybe they
moms, their
probably stayed
grandmothers
because they
unhappy.
had these values where they wanted to see
Yeah.
their kids grow up in one family household instead of just having mama here, yeah, like
Yeah.
that split
But
family.
that doesn't mean it worked though. Like the happiness, I feel like
Yeah, so
people
maybe
are
not
taking.
necessarily work, but maybe they just were not selfish in a way, or they were just selfless.
Yeah.
Just wanted to,
I feel
stay
like
together
being
in
selfish,
a way, right?
Being selfish when it comes to your peace and happiness is good. It's not a bad thing. That's like when men and women, especially modern women, especially when they take control of their peace and happiness and say, "Hey, I have a roster of dudes. I'm doing my own damn thing. Fuck every." Like all these dudes,
Yeah.
like sometimes some women are like you hear like the conversation in male group chats is, yo, I'm with this chick, that chick, that chick.
Okay.
But sometimes when you talk to the ladies, they be like, dudes are begging the women for relationships, but they tell their homeboys they with a
Yeah.
roster of dudes. So
Oh,
as the
geez.
women sometimes, the modern women, where she's less likely to want to be in a relationship because she has it together. What does she need you for? When she got it taken care of. Women typically make more than men nowadays in the corporate world
But
too.
but the question is, are they really happy, or they could be putting on a facade like, oh, I got everything, I'm happy, but deep down when she's in her house by herself, late night, whatever it is, because I know that's part of humans, not even just man or woman, just humans that we crave that sense of love,
Like partnership.
that partnership. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
it's
Yeah.
easy to say, like you can see a lot of people saying, "Oh,
That's true.
I don't need this," but when you're by yourself, life is hitting you hard.
but
You have,
the key is
you know what I'm saying?
needing it when you want it.
Right.
I feel like a lot of times people, like you said, with all the options,
Yeah.
one of the options is gonna hit. Like something is gonna give.
Well, I think too, because like on the one hand, right, like back to your earlier point about like, is this something that worked for everybody?
Yeah.
Like the old school, like traditional
Yeah.
values or like monogamous relationships or marriage or whatnot. Like, I do think, right, it's like it didn't work for everybody. But in the same sense, like I do think that especially nowadays, with the overwhelming amount of options that people have,
It's insane.
it's like it makes you super indecisive in like what you want.
It's
you
it's
know?
insane, and
Too
that
many
could
options.
be a very good point.
That's very true.
Because if you have as a woman, right, you have all these options.
Very
Let's say you were
overwhelming.
single, and this guy's cute, this guy's cute, that's money. Like, how hard would that be for
To
you to
distinguish
choose? Yeah, because
between-
back then, without social media, if you lived in a small town, you're only confined to
Yeah.
the
People
man,
in your
that
region,
live
yeah.
within the
Or you
town or
have
region.
someone in your family say, "I have meet this nice girl, meet
Yes.
this nice boy."
Yeah.
But now
and-
you have you live here and you have girls having boyfriends or sugar daddies in Middle East, like they're flying you
they're
out.
getting flued out.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Doing
saying?
some weird
So
Oh, so the girls can get flued out, but it's a problem if the homeboy wants to go to like Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico.
we're not even getting flued out. and
We
they're
got
mad-
they
and-
paying
and
for
they're
they
mad.
paying for his own trip. They're not
And
getting
they're
flued out.
mad.
Yeah, they mad. Yeah, talk about you
Yeah.
taking advantage of the socioeconomic status of these girls.
Just imagine putting yourselves in the shoes of a woman. Like it can be very hard. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Speak for the ladies.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, okay, so as a woman in your DMs, you have no idea how many like chats or DMs that comes through in a day. Maybe we men can't relate, right? But on average, even the average chick
Yeah.
has all these DMs from
very
guys
true.
trying to fly
Yeah.
her out or
That's
whatever
true.
it is.
Yeah. I
So
hear
you even have the average chick thinking she's all that or she's bad because some guys are giving her attention in the DMs.
And as men, if we're just genuinely trying to get to know someone,
Yeah.
that's what we got to compete with. Are you saying that, or
Yeah, I
That's
think
fact.
so.
I would say,
Okay.
well, I mean, because not every
Speak for the
woman
fellas.
wants.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But not everybody wants the same thing. Like, not all
Right,
women
yeah,
want. They may go overseas or get with a guy
Yeah.
because he's got a lot of money. Because for them, they're not looking for the relationship, right? They're looking for like the financial benefit. Like,
The
like let's
excitement,
be real.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and there's nothing wrong with
and
that.
also U.S. passport and citizenship too. That matters.
I mean,
That too, yeah.
it
Yeah.
does. Like there's.
But hey, you go where you're appreciated. That's what I'll say. You go where you're appreciated. If I'm coming to you here, you're telling me, oh, you want a 6-figure man, you got to be 6 foot, blah, blah, blah. I don't
But-
qualify. Cool. I go here to say, we'll take you. We don't care.
But like you
You
said,
know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
but like you said, when we literally have movies of women like going
yeah.
overseas to Jamaica, Africa.
Yeah.
You literally have like how Stella got her groove.
tourism.
How Stella got her groove back. You know, for women, you know, we have like shows like Desperate Housewives, Sex in the City. So for women, like we empower women to be sexually explorative, which is good. I think it's a good thing. And it benefits everyone. You believe it. however, but when men do it, it's a problem. You know, we bring up all this social economic status. You're taking advantage of these young women, you know, but she can get flued out. He has to pay for all the dates, do everything, and she could be just curving.
Hey,
she could be doing the most.
And ladies, in case y'all didn't know, we men also like to be spoiled. Okay, there's this thing about he has to pay for everything he has. Yes, we're cool paying, but sometimes you gotta let your man feel like, okay, like, you know, he's appreciated. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
I agree. You know, I
know,
feel like
it's a whole different vibe when a girl takes you out and like treats you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
It's good. It's good
yeah.
to it's good to equity to feel like the reciprocal.
Well, it's like you want to feel like you're in a partnership.
Yeah, we're not saying that every time.
Yeah.
However, like you were saying earlier, like how typically in the modern dating world, like women, when they do have social media, they get a lot of suitors in their DMs, comments, likes, whatnot, and the third. And for men, especially someone who's old school as me, who's not in the DMs, who's not in the comments, I don't really go on social media.
So you're not active on social media?
I'm not active on social media.
But if they are active on social media, then they might buy into that, you know, bait.
It's easier for them to buy it. Because, I mean, like you said,
some people live real lives out here. Some people live on social media.
Social media is part of reality, though. We got to factor that in.
Well, especially nowadays, too.
Yep.
Yeah. So as a guy, you know, when it comes to the social media, I would prefer if she's not super duper active on social media, like preference wise. I would
give me one red flags on
like,
social media.
Red flags.
If she's showing butt cheeks on
like my
media,
thing is here's the thing about that.
For me, it's a red flag. Like
for me is if you meet her and she has certain sites like certain things and pictures, and if you meet her on like that and you guys are cool, don't all of a sudden try to switch up and change and take away her password, say she can't like this person's picture, unfollowing. I had people like just friends, literally like when they get into relationships, their dudes
just cut everybody off.
Their dudes would block me. Like or block other dudes. They'll just block all the guy friends that she has.
Well, I can kind of see that though, cause
But why?
You know that? Okay, so do you think that men and women can just be friends?
Absolutely.
I know there's the percentage of men that can actually do that is very low. But most men that are friends with females are just kind of hanging in there to see. I'm just saying,
it could be genuine, but
it could be genuine. I've been in that situation before where I was friends with a.
But before we go there, let's talk.
I'll say this about that, right? Like you can, but I do think you have to have some kind of boundaries.
I agree.
Because if you don't, then you know what I mean. Like,
but you gotta have boundaries for anything and
everything. Because there's been instances where like,
you have boundaries with
call your boyfriend, your male friend, and tell him, hey, you know.
But that's just a dude being a sucker. But like my thing is like.
Well, I guess most of them are suckers.
But here's the thing. There's an insecurity thing. Like you meet her and she got all these pictures, all these types of like da 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 on her page. You liked her when you saw the page. Then now you want to change. Now you want to. You already knew what she was about. Now you want to change. You want to switch up because you're insecure and
that's a good
your
point,
homeboys are clowning you and you get.
Well, and I think it's like some people like, and this is both men and women. They like the idea of being with a certain person, but they don't like everything that's actually going to go along with it. But I also feel like a lot of people are not very authentic nowadays.
That's a good
it's
point.
Like everybody is just. I don't know, like it's like peacocking, but like peacocking in a way where you know what I mean. Like everybody's just like trying to
living like a second.
Put on this show of like who they are because of what like social media is saying.
Social media is huge,
and who you have to be as like a man or a woman.
Because now all of a sudden we have this platform where you can show off your lifestyle in a way like
for me personally, it's not a red flag if she has certain pictures or if she has adult business, or something, or photography or whatnot, or modeling.
Yeah, me personally, it would be a no-go for me because I know that's not the kind of girl I'll be into. You know what I'm saying?
But for me personally, it's not. but I'm not looking at those type of girls to, you know, for a serious, you know, type of.
Yeah. But
like
if you're okay,
it's
so
just,
let's say if you're looking for something serious.
Yeah.
then it's
Like,
no.
it's
But
a
at
no.
the same,
Okay,
it's
but for play,
respectfully,
yeah.
respectfully. But at the same time, you know, I'm not gonna try to change a person.
Yeah,
and
that's
from what they trying to do. I mean, I'll encourage people like, yo,
That's a setup,
whatever
'cause
you want to do, be
Yeah.
the best
You
version
really
of
can't
yourself.
tell people what to do. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
got dudes taking control of like their girls'
too much.
passwords, their girls like logging in, people checking one
that
another's
sounds like
phones.
toxic to me, right
That's
there.
toxic,
Yeah.
but that's
'Cause-
how the social people. I don't think it's social media. But here's the thing about social media: it's not social media being toxic; it's the people being
behind
toxic.
the
Yes,
social media.
yes.
Yeah.
You know, like
and how they're using
and
it.
how they use it. So I hear about like some girls like they be, you know, they be saying like they check their dudes IG and the
that's
Explorer
too much.
page be nothing but like half naked women in the Explorer page.
So they can't have a life. It's like,
But the Explorer page be
Yeah.
half naked girls that don't even look like they girl on the Explorer page.
Yeah,
But here's the
yeah.
thing about social media. Social media, whatever you follow, is just a reflection of what you like.
Yeah.
and that's why the
Pretty much.
algorithm
That's
will
true.
pick it up and start showing you more of what you like.
Exactly. but they blame it on social media, but it's just the reflection
Wow.
of what they like and what they choose to see. You feel me? So
So-
but like it's crazy. I can't imagine, you know, like for the ladies who like they see the dudes Explore page and there's a bunch of half naked women that don't look nothing like them. That might hurt. That might sting a little bit. But like
Yeah.
that's
well,
the
I have a controversial.
Yeah,
well, I
go
don't
on.
know if this is controversial, right? But I feel like, you know, a lot of times I'm of the mindset like just because you're in a relationship, it doesn't mean like the whole world gets ugly.
Thank you.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
Okay.
can't like there's nothing wrong, right? But like again, like you kind of have to be comfortable enough in your own relationship and like the commitment that you have to know that that person is they may look at other people, right? Like, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that they're gonna do something.
You gotta be comfortable in who you
Yeah.
are too.
But sometimes it's like good to have boundaries in a relationship because sometimes like I don't know, like I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't want to know certain things, but you know what I mean? Like to me that's like a problem if you're going into somebody else's like social media and you're looking through all their shit.
I agree.
So for you, Kat, what are some of the boundaries that if you know you want in your relationship or you have already in your relationship?
Boundaries like just with anything, like
Just
social media.
like okay, I'm in a relationship with you. Maybe these are the things that are no now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like the thing is like I always talk about certain things that, like from the get go, like hey, this is what I'm about, and this is kind of
Okay.
like my
Setting that stage.
yeah, like some of I appreciate a certain amount of privacy, right? And but in that same sense, I'm gonna extend that same courtesy to you because you know what I mean. Like it's not fair, it's not right for me to say that I want something and not give you that same
Reciprocate
courtesy.
that, yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know,
Okay. What
like
about
and
you,
I think
Goki?
privacy's I don't know.
For social media?
Yeah, boundaries. If
I'm
let's
not-
say if you are serious with someone,
I'm pretty private as
Okay,
well. I
okay.
barely post. If I post, it's typically like promoting a friend's business or brand or something I enjoy. Like I feel like people should. That's her social media. I'm not trying to see what she's doing. I don't really
Right.
like. I'm not.
Yeah.
into that.
I'm not into that. You know. I feel like I let people be them. You know.
Right.
But we can encourage one another to be the best versions of ourselves. But I'm not into like overstepping. You know, trying to look at your laptop, your email, your phone. I'm not into
Right.
all that stuff.
So let's rewind back to the topic. Women don't want to see men happy. Women don't want to see men happy.
Yeah.
It.
Yo,
What do you guys think? Cause
it's,
and I brought about that concept of the man cave. What do we have
yeah.
a man cave in marriage, but we don't have a woman cave? What's going on there? And the phrase "a happy wife is a happy life."
I didn't mean to take it like that. I didn't mean to take it like that. I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
I think
You go first. So
I don't know how they came about, but
Yeah.
I'm just curious as to why we have these sayings.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I can't say this is a case for like every relationship, but I do think to an extent, right? Like, I can't speak for everybody, but if you feel like you have to have a space where you can be yourself, it's maybe because you feel like you cannot be your full self with your partner. You know what I mean? Like, you can't feel like you're able to like share a space like that with them because maybe you feel judged by them. That's what I think too. But I also think it like what is it? Did you guys say women cave?
I've never
What-
heard
what-
anything
Or
like
happy wife,
I've-
happy life.
What
That's
the
what
heck
I
is a
heard.
woman cave? I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never heard that, but
I
I've
don't
heard man cave. Like
I don't
heard
know.
man cave, but-
I also
Yeah.
have another. I don't know if this
What
is
is it?
controversial,
What is it?
but the happy wife, happy life. I do kind of feel like sometimes, like maybe back in the day, like some men would use that so they could go do shit,
I
and
agree.
then they could be like, well, as long as she's happy, like she can't really complain
Yeah.
about the shit that I'm
See
doing
no
behind
evil,
closed doors.
she don't know. Yeah.
because
You
the reason
know?
why I'm saying that is I seen this video on TikTok. I forgot who or where. Well, I know it was on TikTok, but who I forgot. She was saying something about men compromise more. Men in marriages compromise more to make like they prioritize the happiness of their wives before them in marriages. You know, because they know that, oh, my wife doesn't want me to do this. I'll do this just to make her happy, kind of thing.
I hear that often.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, like,
but
oh,
I don't
got,
think that's. I mean,
I hear
I
it
don't think
like
it's healthy.
on like.
Yeah, I don't
like,
think it's really healthy.
I don't think it, amongst modern like young people younger
Yeah.
than 35. I don't think so. But like I hear it like oh I gotta ask my wife
Yeah.
about. To
'Cause
go
look-
to poker night with the guys, I gotta talk to my wife, see what she says. I hear that amongst older men, but like in terms of modern dating,
maybe married
happy-
couples, because if I don't mean
it's
to tell you
different.
my bad.
It's different though.
Because-
It's generation. But continue.
Yeah, the reason why
Yeah.
I'm saying married couples is because like there's too much a risk, right? Let's say if she's unhappy and she decides to leave, you already know how that goes with divorce
Yeah.
court. You know, it's either the court takes everything of yours and give it to the woman, or you start life all over and you're paying alimony or child support, whatever. So most men, when they find themselves in those situations, they just comply just to get along, to avoid all that headache. If it did get to that point.
But
Which
we're,
most-
but we're
most
hardly
men-
getting to that point amongst modern dating. People aren't really getting married like that.
Yeah.
That's
We're,
true.
we're hardly getting to
Because
that point.
people aren't committing.
You're not
like
committing.
that.
Yeah. What's up with that?
They're committing, but not committing to marriage. Is that a different?
More like a
I-
situationships?
I think. Well, the thing is, I think
Going
that
with the
some
flow.
people,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but we're
Vibes.
going, which is fine. Yeah, for real. But it's fine. Like if you want to go with the flow vibes, like that's all cool. Like
Yeah.
no problem. You do you. That makes you happy.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like I feel like people say they want commitment, but then they don't want to actually put in the work to do the
Yeah.
things to
Because
commit.
relationships are earned.
Yeah.
Like, you
But
don't-
it's like constant work.
It's not so
continuous
You know?
improvement. Yeah.
But why do
gotta
you want to
keep
work
working
when
on
you already
yourself.
have a job?
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm just
start-
saying.
let's start
I'm
some
sorry.
trouble here,
I'm
man.
sorry. I'm sorry.
let's start trouble.
No,
here,
I'm gonna
man.
start trouble.
But
Like
yeah,
I mean,
okay.
some people they have this like there's this mindset that I hear a lot of like if it like a relationship shouldn't feel like work if you're really meant to be with that person. But that's I just feel like maybe in the beginning when you're like the honeymoon phase and you're
Yeah.
starting to get to know and you click with that person. But after time, like it's gonna take work to remain
maintain
committed.
it, just like anything
because
else.
you're changing,
I
you're
agree.
growing, you have different experiences in life, you go through shit together,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and like I don't know, I feel like that's more of a old school
Right.
mentality that I'm not saying that people don't do it these days, but it's less common
But
because people are like I'm gonna say something that might be kind of controversial, but
Say
it's
it.
like people are a little kind of too selfish these days,
that's a good.
which is
But
okay.
here's the thing about that. Why the lack of work in modern relationships? Like you guys both mentioned how the options are available. Whether it is
Yeah.
just going to the gym, going to the grocery, the DMs. There's so many options, and
Yep.
people just through your phone. It's crazy. So like being that we're so like there's. I think too many options sometimes. We don't even appreciate the person in front of us,
Yeah.
the person we're with,
Yep.
because
you think,
that's
hey,
where
if they
the-
go
Think
right
it's
now,
easy.
you can replace them.
Selfishness-
we have things are
Yeah.
too transactional, and we view people as too disposable and transactional. The relationships,
yeah,
and
that's a good
that's
point.
an
Yeah.
issue, you know.
And that's what I mean is like the selfishness of like, well, I'm living my best life and I'm doing my thing,
Yeah.
and we negate to realize like that, you know, it's like we're now involving this other person, and like the least we can do is at least be honest about our intentions, you know. And there's not a lot of honesty.
That's a good point.
About intentions and like what. People say they want something, and then like weeks or months down the road, it's like
They've
all of a
changed.
sudden,
They don't want it
the
anymore.
fluidity, but let's
yeah.
be. But I feel like in modern day we're more honest. Being like we mentioned, going with the flow, vibes, situationships, cuffing season, especially so we view like a lot like typically in modern relationships or dating, it's seasonal. Like you
Yeah.
see somebody or a few
You
people
vibe with them, you
within
like them.
like the summer, you know,
it's a summer
fall,
fling.
winter. You got like different
Yeah.
people got like
Wow.
handling their mating or their dating in seasons, and like okay,
Yeah.
she's good for that season. He's good for that season. Like in seasons, and like how you gonna build? How you gonna
Yeah.
build
Do you
with
think- do you
someone
think
when
that's
it's
a little
very
shallow?
seasonal? I don't think it's shallow. I think like you mentioned, like people are really taking like control of their happiness. Like, okay, this serves me right now.
So
for the
if
moment.
this serves
it's
you
not
right,
a bad thing.
Let's hold that right there.
Okay.
This serves you right. What about, let's say, the partner you're out with, and she's saying this serves me right. So where do we meet in the middle? Like,
Yeah.
if
There's
this is
not a
what
lot of
you know, what I'm saying
compromise.
compromise. Like, this is what
There's
makes me
not a
happy.
lot.
You know, I'm living my best. So if we really want to be together,
Yeah.
what are we gonna compromise? You know, what are you gonna
Yeah.
let go and
Compromise.
try to have that balance?
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
And I think
well,
that's-
because we're not willing to see like what it is that we want, because we feel
A
as
common
if we're-
goal.
Yeah, we feel as if we're doing that, like, you know, that
You're
means
taking
like
something-
that means you're
Yeah.
taking something from me, and but that's what I'm saying, like, is that value of like, I would say, you know, with the commitment and the compromise, like you just don't see that. And that's like specific to Western culture. I think because like Western culture is so much about the individual,
Yeah,
right? It's
I
like
agree.
me,
Yep. Me,
and
me,
myself.
yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think to an extent, right? Like you have to realize that, you know, we're interacting with like people in the world, and
Right.
you know, we could be dragging them into our mess or vice versa, you know, and like we don't really think about
Because
I don't know.
relationship itself is just two people coming together, come and go, whatever, to live life together, you know? So if you don't want to do the together thing and you're trying to live a together life, but you still want to be a an individual,
Yeah.
how is that going to, like, both of you are hopping on a ship
yeah.
to go somewhere, but now
Yeah,
you want to say,
somebody
oh,
wanna-
now I want to kind of hang on the side a little bit.
Yeah.
You're going to
Yeah.
capsize the ship or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's facts.
But
That's
guys,
facts.
this has been a great topic, and
Likewise,
I think
yeah.
we'll come back with a part
We
two.
need a part two.
Because
There's
if
so
we
much
keep
more,
going,
man.
we're going to
There's
keep
so
going
much
and
more.
going.
And I feel like the happiness of the male,
Yeah.
it coincides. Like the happiness of the woman also. It both.
It's
together.
symbiotic.
Yeah, it's symbiotic. Yeah,
Symbiotic,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, guys.
But they don't want us to be happy.
They don't.
That's just reminding you of the topic. It was his idea.
Women-
I'm just reminding you of the topic.
Women don't want to see men happy. And women, if you disagree, please leave in the comments what your thoughts are. Gentlemen, do the same thing. And we hope you guys enjoy this conversation. And we do not hate women here. We do not, you know.
I would hope not.
We do not hate the passport game.
Yeah, we
here.
do not hate the passport game.
If you
We're
want to go
just
to
out here.
Jamaica or Africa,
Do what
the
makes
brothers
you
will
happy.
treat
Go find
you
your
right.
soulmate.
The brothers
Yep.
will treat you right. By the
Do
way.
you and do what makes you happy, guys. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed this conversation. And we'll talk to you soon. All right, peace.
Peace.